Joe. Really appreciate Joe's leadership of the organization through these tough times. He is an inspiration. And wow, how do you follow our resident pastor, Jeff Ross, who said everything that I'm about to say to you, and I can't say it with near that enthusiasm. But what a special moment that he could share the stage with his soulmate, Tammy. I love you. Thank you for being here and helping to make this a special, special weekend. It is great to be here again with you a year later after joining you here in Orlando last year, and just now coming off 2 weeks ago, kicking off the nationwide Relay Summit in Dallas, Texas. And to join you here as you and your division kicks off the divisional conference season for our 2016 relay season. Just think, you are the brushstroke on the canvas that will launch us into 2016 and painting our world purple and ending this disease once and for all. I've been given not a lot of time. I want to go through as quickly as I possibly can to give you just a little bit of history of Relay, where we came from, where we are, and where we're going. And to go back to where we started, we all know the story, that one man, $27,000 raised, running around the track. Gordy set a vision in front of us that we all could follow. We all know that actually the picture on the left is Gordy's last relay that he participated in, as we lost Gordy last year to his own fight against cancer. But does one man make a mark? If you look all the way to the right, we had a chance this year, this past spring in Tacoma, to unveil this monument that will be a lasting remembrance to Gordy and his vision, but more importantly to us and the relay movement. A moving experience. I would encourage you that if you are ever in the Great Northwest, please take this opportunity. It's at the site of where the Tacoma Relay is now, and it will be there forever. Just an incredible, incredible movement. If I were to go forward and click on 1986, you would still see the one splotch up in Tacoma, Washington. But that was the year that our mother of Relay, Pat Flynn, came together and brought teams of friends, families, survivors, associates to join Gordy in running around the track. Hence, as we know, Relay for Life today was born. If you fast forward to 1990, 5 years later, you see a few more paint splotches going around the country. Of course, you don't see any here in your home state, nor in my home state of Texas. We still weren't real confident about this thing called Relay. But something happened in 1992 when the American Cancer Society Board of Directors came together and designated Relay for Life as its signature fundraising activity. 1992. We thought they were crazy. But was it the right decision? I truly believe it was. 1995, fast forward, now there's 1,700 or so Relay for Life around the country, raising about $60 million. But something else happened that year. It's actually the first time the American Cancer Society licensed Relay for Life to be used abroad. And our friends in the UK, the Cancer Society UK, started its first Relay for Life in Portsmouth in 1996, hence, again, Relay starting on foreign soil. If you fast forward to 1998, is actually when the American Cancer Society changed the designation from signature fundraising event to signature activity. Was it the right decision again? A bold decision at the time. We think it's a no-brainer, but back then, that was unheard of. But fast forward to 2000, you will see the first year that the American Cancer Society, through Relay, raised $100 million in 1 year through 2,700 events. Fast forward to 2005, Relay continues to grow. At this time, we're now at some $300 million raised through 4,000 relays around the country. And I still remember at a conference like this when Rule Johnson, our former vice president for Relay, talked about a special experience happening in Baghdad, Iraq. Again, we've seen Relay grow since then, but in this year, it was truly a moving experience to hear of soldiers from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, who were in Iraq and said, we still want to be a part of Relay. Think of what their surroundings were at the time. And they still were able to get about 20% of the battalion, going about 3.6 miles around their base and raising about $5,000. Again, setting Relay at a place and getting outside the box that we didn't think were possible. Fast forward to 2010, Joe mentioned the high water mark in 2009. Now we're at about $400 million through 5,000 relays around the country. And again, you see lots of purple splotches around the world as Relay just continues to grow. And if you fast forward to this year, now 24 countries around the world, 6,000 Relay for Life events. Again, is Relay for Life a special event? I don't think so. 2015 was a special year for me as well. I'm actually, in 2 weeks, we'll meet that first year anniversary of being your National Vice President for Relay. This is just a quick picture of the opportunities I had to visit. As you can see, went from coast to coast, but I started and ended very specially here in your division. I started my journey back earlier this spring in Tallahassee, Florida, at the Florida State University Relay. And I've been to many college relays, guys. I've started something now. It was a great event, lots of enthusiasm, lots of energy. Our future is bright. But you know what I really want to highlight is I was so impressed with the event leadership committee from that event. The students who were still trying to learn something back in the classroom were giving their time to our cause, to our movement. And I'm convinced those students who I met and visited with will continue to do Relay after their college experience. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those students were standing in front of you here in the future, standing, giving you a state of Relay down the road. It is just a memorable experience. You see pictures here. These are just a few from my journey this past year around the country. You'll see somebody very familiar at the top middle who does like to get attention. And that is actually where I ended my season just in June, where I was able to join the Relay for Life in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And all I can say in one word, festival. I've never been a part of an event that had so much energy and excitement, and more importantly, a whole island, a territory who has Relay for Life on their schedule, on their calendar, year in and year out. Just an incredible experience. I was so proud to be a part. Of course, I didn't understand a word they said, the entire Relay, but you know what? I knew what purple was. I knew the Relay language, and I knew that I was a part of something very special. So it's been a great year. Where are we now? Joe mentioned some numbers, but I want to just make here 2015 season. You see them here. We're still in the season. We're not through, but these are some of the numbers rolled up. These slides will be available for you after the conference, but about 4,700 relays, over 600 of them in college and high school events. And I want to lift those up because if you add all those together, they actually had more people and had more revenue growth in 2015 over 2014. Something we need to learn from. These students are so passionate, and we continue to see Relay growing there. 1,000 global events around the world. We can't actually audit all the relayers. There's somewhere between 3 and 4 million relayers who come. We don't have them all registered, but we know they're there. 275,000 cancer survivors. Joe mentioned how important they are, that we must continue to bring more cancer survivors to Relay. We're projecting just shy of $300 million this year through 135,000 teams. Truly, again, something we should be very proud of. We know what the trends are, but we're having a huge impact in our community. Since 1985, again, $5.65 billion raised since that $27,000 Gordy did. I like to say this, there's no correlation, but actually that's the amount of money that the American Cancer Society has raised and funded in research since its inception. Let me say that again. Since the American Cancer Society's inception, that's the same amount of money that we've funded in cancer research. Again, no correlation to Relay, but I like the number. How have we painted our purple in history? I don't know about you guys, but I'm proud to be a part of an organization that has had an impact on all major cancer breakthroughs in recent history. It goes all the way back. You see some familiar faces, but you know, when people ask me, and I'm sure you get asked, when you're out recruiting teams, when you're asking for donations for your team, are we really making a difference? Are we really making a difference? And I'll say it with this example. When I started in 1982, my career with the American Cancer Society, we celebrated 500,000 Americans were surviving cancer. 500,000 cancer survivors in America in 1982. And our slogan was, "We are winning." This year, 14.5 million Americans living with cancer. Are we making a difference? I believe we are. That's my story. We've got to tell that story over and over. I want to do quickly, we couldn't do this without our corporations. These are just, please look at a favorite logo up there if you have. Our national corporate team partners, they give to us financially, but they also, more importantly, have their employees and associates supporting relays in multiple states around the country. We could not do Relay without our national corporate team partners. But where are we heading? You heard some challenges from Joe, and we have a lot to do to make sure that we take Relay to the next level. Last year, I stood in front of you and mentioned some refresh. We listened to our relayers. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we knew what was happening. We heard loud and clear that Relay was too hard, it's too difficult. We can't get people to do it 24 hours, overnight. It's hard to get volunteers to work year in, year out to do what's all necessary. So we listened, and we actually refreshed the model, the Relay model, about being flexible. You can do it any which way you want. You don't have to do it just one standard way, but make it what's right for your community. We also totally revamped the committee structure into our event leadership team structure, which I hope you all are familiar with. Again, trying to make it where it will meet your needs and not just the needs of one person somewhere else. And then again, it's the whole idea about empowering your communities. Relay was built around a lot of standard do's and don'ts. And we have to make sure we're listening to the communities at what will make Relay successful. And I believe if you put all that together, that creates a culture of innovation. So I challenge you as you move forward to think outside the box. What's it going to take to bring more people to us? You've seen this. This is just the formula that I truly believe got Relay to where it is. We know more people, and if they have a good experience, they will fund our mission. Now, I'll give you just a couple examples in closing as I wind down. Bringing the people. We all have great experiences right here in Florida. But I want to share, again, the largest relay in the world in Gwinnett County, Georgia. They year in and year out are just exceeding the bar with the numbers of teams, committee members, survivors, participants. But I had a chance to talk to their event chair, and she said there was the one key that she felt was critical, and that was as she formed her event leadership team, it wasn't just around one community. It wasn't just around their friends and family they knew, but their committee, their event leadership team reflects the entire county. No matter what color you are, how old you are, what sex you are, it didn't matter. They involved the entire community, and they really feel that's the start of why they are so successful in bringing more people. Building the fun, I've already mentioned our friends in San Juan. They definitely know how to do it. They make it a fun experience. They make sure everyone is enjoying what they're doing, and their scores, their satisfaction scores show it. You may know we survey every relay after every event to ask our relayers how they feel and what they experience. And the events in Puerto Rico, year in and year out, on average, the highest customer satisfaction scores of any division in the country. I think they deserve a great round of applause. And then in closing, I'd like to share a story about funding our mission. and I call this story simply An Angel. I'd like to share a story with you from the Relay for Life of Campbell County in Gillette, Wyoming. This story is about one of their top teams, Rita's Rebels, told while walking the track with a volunteer chair this past year. Rita, the team captain, shares that she wasn't sure how her team's final fundraising would end, but she had hoped they had done enough to be the top team again at this year's relay. At that exact moment, a team member ran up with a $1,000 check, something she was not expecting. Rita then told the volunteer they had received another unexpected gift from an angel. When asked what she meant, Rita began to cry. Rita explained that it was from one of their team members, Twyla Burks, who had passed away this past December after battling cancer 4 times. Twyla was on Rita's team from the very beginning and had really become her right-hand lady. In fact, Twyla was a past event chair and had served in many roles on the volunteer committee over the years. Rita went on to explain the angel gift. About a week before Twyla passed away, she pulled some money from the bank and put it in an envelope. She wrote a note to her husband and hid the envelope in their home, hidden enough so that he wouldn't find it right away, but where he would eventually find it. As fate would have it, Twyla's husband found the envelope the week of relay. The note in the envelope explained it was a final gift to her team for all they had done in the fight against cancer. She wanted to make sure that no other team member received a cancer diagnosis, as the team had lost a dear friend just this past year. Twyla's husband brought the gift to Rita and explained that an angel was hoping to still make a difference. It was almost like Twyla knew her team needed the push and wanted to continue to make a difference after she was gone. The gift, $10,000, which ultimately helped Rita's Rebels raise their all-time high and achieve the top team award. Ladies and gentlemen, there are angels among us, and we have a mission to carry out. My name is Steve Zamzow. I've been a relayer for 22 years, but I've never been this proud to be a part of your purple nation and turning our world purple. Thank you very much for all you do.